All right, so this next one, Kites in the Sky. They don't tell us a whole lot about this. It says this piece has two sections. Find each as your teacher demonstrates the piece. So they're even saying, your teacher is probably going to have to show you how this works. This one's a little weird, but once we figure out the patterns, it shouldn't be too bad. So it's asking which sections use seconds and which sections use thirds. Okay, looking it over. I mean, it's mostly looking like thirds to me, unless we're talking about up here. Like, that's kind of a second, but it's split up, so that's hard to see. But that's definitely a third there. So I don't know, I wouldn't worry too much about that as a teacher, because they got some other weird stuff going on here where we need to bring our left hand over our right. So we just had a piece not too long ago where we were reaching our right hand over to play that C. Now they're saying we got to reach our left hand over and catch some notes up here. So let's figure out our position first, right? So if we have 5 on C in the left hand, that's that low C position. 1 on C here, that puts us in our middle C position there. Then this note, face, F-A-C, F-A, that's an A. So we're gonna catch this note right next to G there. So that's our first left hand over. So first line sounds like this. Then I'm gonna go back to that 5. Okay? Second line, you can see the first two measures pretty much the same thing. The left hand's just crossing over and catching some other notes. So we're thinking face again, F-A-C-E. So I gotta catch the C and E up here with 2 and 4. You can try 1 and 3, but 2 and 4 definitely feels better. So it might feel a little awkward at first, but it's the better choice there. So here's the second line. Make sure you get off that right hand when you play that left hand there. Don't hold on to that G. Third line's looking exactly the same as the first line. Yep. So you get another whack at that if you messed it up the first time. Then I don't think there's any funny business in the fourth line on page 29. Okay, so that gets us pretty much through the whole thing. Well, I guess they're considering measure 17 part of the song as well. Kind of looks like a separate exercise to me. But what's going on here is we're going to set up our left hand in this C position we've been using. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when we run out of fingers, we're just going to bring our right hand thumb in next to that thumb. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, I ran out of fingers. I'm going to bring left hand over, put this 5 on the F here. Ran out of fingers, so I'm going to put this one on D. I'm going to run it up. Oh, you kind of get what's going on here, right? We'll just keep crossing to get the notes we want. Then it says, continue this hand crossing pattern to the highest C. So I'm just going to go to that C there. Technically, I got one more way up high, but that's good enough. So that was a lot of talking about it. We got a 2-pager here with some weird stuff going on. And I didn't even mention that really we're supposed to be pedaling this whole thing. And they want you to hold the pedal down for the whole first 4 lines, then don't use it from measure 17 on. But yeah, they never lift it up, so hold it down that whole time. If you make a mistake or something, go ahead and lift it and put it back down, just so you don't catch the bad notes. But that's what they're saying. So, all right, let's hear this whole thing here. There you go. Kind of a wacky one there. So a couple things I'd be looking for as a teacher with this, and we've talked about these things before, was like how close is your kid sitting to the keyboard? Are they scooching their butt all over the place trying to get some of these high notes here? It's a good time to talk about that. So we shouldn't have to move once we've sat down. So this will kind of teach them to kind of shift their upper body over to catch those notes, or maybe sit a little farther back from the keyboard than we're used to. Because if we sit too close, our elbow kind of gets caught on our body, or if we're sitting farther away, we can get that elbow out in front of our body, which is good. So a lot of people tend to sit too close when they first start playing. Then when you get into pieces like this, it's like, oh, well now that's a problem, where beforehand it wasn't a big problem, right? So that's why I don't always harp about some stuff like that early on in lessons, because eventually we get to a piece like this and it's like, well now you have to sit farther away and it feels awkward at first, but then you get comfortable with it. So yeah, there you go, Kites in the Sky, kind of an interesting one there. On to the next one.